3, 2, 1. Oh, that was super on sync. That was the best one we've had. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Side Tangent. It's Jared.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Parker. Hi.
We're here with a very special guest again. You might know him from episode 4. Moses, former roommate, bodybuilder, good friend of ours. What's up, man? Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, last time we had you on, we were interviewing you a bunch about your bodybuilding journey. At that point, you had just done your first competition. Since then, you've won a couple, right? You won one so far.
One. Yeah.
Still training, and we also ate the world's spiciest chip.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah, that sucked. Listening back to the audio from that one, it sounds like you guys were handling it like a champ. I was dying, and we lost the footage of it, so what a waste.
I was handling it well up to 2 hours after the fact.
He almost went to the hospital. Did you know that?
Really?
I was throwing up for like 2 hours.
It was.
That makes
I
so
think
much
I
sense.
think it got banned shortly after we did it. So
A week after we did it.
but luckily we got round 2. No, I'm kidding. Dude, you want something funny, Moses? On my way picking up Parker today, I remembered the first conversation we've ever had when we met. So me and Moses met in high school. It was at this thing at BYU called SOAR. And we barely talked during that thing, but we were taking like the group picture, and I was talking to someone else about Naruto, and I was like, dude, but Sasuke though, and then all you said was, bro, Sasuke's dope. That's all you said.
That was it?
That was our first conversation. I was like, yeah, dude, and then everyone kept talking, and then later on, that's when you hit me up. You're like, dude, we should be roommates in college. I was like, yeah, dude, we should. Little did I know, we actually were roommates in college. Do you guys remember your first impression when you guys first met?
It was probably water pong.
Yeah, it was.
Water pong.
Having a sleepover on our mission. Yep.
That was,
First conversation. I don't remember talking to you.
I think the only conversation we had was you telling me to be a partner with a certain person. And I was so insulted.
To do what?
Because there was this one missionary who didn't have good sports skills, and Moses.
He didn't have any life skills.
Yeah, and Moses was like,
Drop the name. No kidding.
you probably should be his partner, which was the right decision to make, but I was still insulted, so I was like, oh no, I need to do better.
Like,
In Pong.
oh, I see.
Yeah, and I was so embarrassed that I was like, oh no, everyone thinks I suck, which I did, but that was our first impression, and then he thought I was overly competitive, and I thought.
You can be, dude.
I can't remember.
He was overly
I am overly competitive.
I remember the first time when we were all roommates, we were playing football. We were playing catch. And I don't think you ever had thrown a football before.
Oh, yeah.
You were I haven't thrown it, but you were so mad that you couldn't throw it. And I remember being like, Parker, why would you be good at it right now? You've never thrown the football before. It wasn't even that bad.
I tried to teach him how to play basketball, and he'd get so mad.
Yeah.
The only time we ever got in a fight when we were companions was when we played board games. That was literally it. We literally stopped playing board games because we kept fighting.
We were up at 3 a.m. Yeah.
It's just funny how you get competitive over the most random things.
Yeah. Nothing that matters.
Yeah.
It's funny, the anime thing, because I've made so many friendships just based off of like people wearing like a Naruto shirt or like like randomly overhearing conversations, and then you just kind of just chime in.
Yeah. I think nowadays it's like it's easy for me to get to know someone. Like I can tell if I'm going to buy with someone if they like anime or their opinion of anime.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually find someone like likes anime, but I'm always weirded out when someone hates on anime but they haven't seen it yet. That's like a red flag to me.
I saw this post where someone was like, I've received more peer pressure to watch anime than any drug.
Oh, I saw that one. It's funny. What do you guys think about everybody watching anime now?
I think it's cool. I think it's just I think everything in moderation. Like it's cool to like have more people to relate to, but then I also like sometimes there's this one kid that Emily knows that he you could tell he just got into anime but he was so excited to tell me that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like the actual manga, and then the original wasn't. It's just like a branch of it. I'm like, everyone knows that. Like, he said like he's the first person to discover that.
Ugh, poor guy.
The missionaries were like knocking doors the other day, and they knocked on our house, and they would not leave. First of all, and I kept telling them we're not like.
They just want to hang out.
Yeah, they just want to hang out. They just want to leave. But then he's like, "Oh, you watch anime?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I really like it." He's like, you ever watch Dragon Ball Super?" I'm like, "Yes." And then he's like, what do you watch?" And I named like Demon Slayer, Naruto, One Piece. He had no idea what I was talking about. And I'm like, "Don't make up a conversation just to stay in my house. Like you don't actually watch anime. Like it's okay if you don't, but don't pretend like you do just to have a conversation with me. We could have talked about literally anything else."
Parker, how did you start watching anime?
That's when you showed me Naruto on our mission.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just couldn't remember.
Well, I technically, because I read mangas. We actually talked about this last episode. I read mangas in junior high and elementary school because I had them at the library. But one, I didn't know you're supposed to read left to like the opposite direction. So I was like, these books make no sense. But I thought the art styles were cool, so I kept reading them. But I didn't actually watch anything until Naruto when you showed it to me.
That's so funny. One thing I really liked about when we were companions is we just tell each other like random lore stories of like books and things. Like Parker told me like 4 different plots of books that he read, like in great detail, and we just talk about it over days.
So this dude, like, I've explained every single theory of One Piece that I've learned, and like the entire plot of One Piece, and he retained the entire thing. Yeah. It's crazy.
But birthdays,
it's like you've watched One Piece, but you haven't actually seen a single episode.
My brain is just attuned for lore. Nothing else important. If it's like someone's name, I am a lore whore, a lore hound, a loregasm.
Oh wow!
You've been thinking about this.
An alternate podcast idea.
I have a question for you. I asked Parker this question last episode. I'm trying it out, and I've been asking people. And if the question doesn't make any sense, I'm gonna scrap the idea. Do you have like an opinion? It's not necessarily a hot take, but it's just an opinion that you have, but you've never really had the right audience for it, or you've never been able to share it because it's. For example, the one I shared last episode was I have a favorite Power Rangers season.
Season 2.
Well, it's Power Rangers Time Force. In Space is the second favorite, yeah. And then,
okay.
So I have like a lot of random opinions, but like I don't have like people in my life that know enough about it to care about the opinion. Putting you on the spot here.
I don't think I have any that I want to share.
Fair enough. This will be part of the Patreon when we eventually release that.
I don't know. It's all political. It's been on my mind a lot, so I don't want to get it.
We'll go off camera with it. Well, here's another question I asked Parker then. Have you heard of Rumspringa that the Amish community does?
No.
So it's like I don't know if we have the details correct about this, but the Amish community has this thing where they let their members go out for a year and they just live in the world, experience the world. Yeah. It's called Rumspringa. I just learned that.
I didn't know that's what it's called. Yeah. I knew about that though.
So let's say an Amish person comes up to you. It's like, hey, I'm on Rumspringa right now, Rumspring break. And
what's the one thing I would show them?
Yeah, what's the thing you show them, take them to do, and it's something that you like the first food that you give them.
I would have them watch anime.
Nice. Which one?
Probably Demon Slayer.
You just like Clockwork
Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is so mid, but
it's a good introductory
it's a great introductory one, and just to watch their face like go with all the colors.
You just have like their eyes like Clockwork Orange style is like forced open. You're like, look at the flames.
Literally,
it's in his mind. It's not
Attack
real.
on Titan, where like the time frame is similar to how they live now. Like,
that's
it's like close to it. Can you imagine just Attack on Titan? And like, hey, this could really happen to you. By the way,
this is what I think would happen. Have you seen about those North Korean soldiers that were in Russia that got addicted to porn?
No, what the?
Yeah.
What happened?
So North Korea sent Russia was it 10,000 troops?
Around that.
So
a lot.
And so in North Korea they don't have access to the internet or anything. Well, it's controlled.
Right.
They all got addicted to porn. All of them.
There's also this happened recently where Elon Musk's Starlink got internet access to this tribe in the Amazon for the first time. Same almost immediately they all got addicted to porn.
Wow.
So anyway, Amish person addicted to anime.
I was like, you're gonna show them porn? Like, jeez, that would, yeah.
It's called a controlled fire to prevent other fires.
Food would be.
We jokingly said the world's hottest chip.
No.
Just kill them.
I love
Pizza's
pizza.
a good one. I said Pop Rocks.
That would be awesome.
That'd be, or like
I didn't even think about that. That would be crazy.
Because Parker was saying that, like, something that they can't make on their own without like science or artificial things in it. So, I don't remember what your actual answer ended up being. Cotton candy would be kind of wild too.
I was just thinking cotton candy.
I think introducing them to VR would be. I guess I'm just repeating the conversation from last week.
Another anime you could show them would be Dr. Stone, of how they could get modern technology
you
in their
could live
society.
better. You could be better.
This is still technically kosher under your beliefs. You can build a car.
Could you imagine just like a roller coaster though?
I can't imagine going from nothing to having everything and then choosing to go back to like absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I hear a lot of them return though.
Maybe you get like, because since it's such a short
I could
time,
be wrong about that, but
relatively like a year, you could get just overstimulated and hated.
That's true.
That's true. Maybe it's too much at one time. Someone was telling me about this. They might have been out in the east where there's a higher population of Amish community, but they were driving. There was like a horse-drawn carriage, and this Amish dude was just. But then they drove by him. Like all of a sudden, they could hear just music just blasting. He had like subwoofers in his carriage. And I guess he just got back from Rum Spring, and that's what he decided to. He just kept the subwoofers in his carriage.
That makes sense. Music? I didn't even think about that.
Can you imagine taking him to a rave? That would be. I've never been to a rave, but I imagine that'd be like.
I mean, I'm in the world and raves scare me, so I
was
can't
gonna
imagine bringing an Amish
Just
person
overstimulated.
They'd
Yeah.
probably be how I was at parties, where I'm just like in the corner, like, "Oh, geez, guys, can we go home?"
This guy's mute.
Did we tell that story on
I
the
can't
podcast?
remember. We could say it again. Where we were at a party, and I would never talk to girls because I'm a shy little boy. And Moses was like, "Okay, I'm going to introduce you to some people. I'll get this conversation going because that's what you struggle with." So we went up to these two girls, and Moses was like, "Hey, this is my friend Parker. He's a mute. Bye."
Oh, I forgot I walked away.
And then I kept up with it for a second because I didn't know what else to do. So I was like, I didn't know sign language. So
Moses would do like everything to like help all of his roommates like meet people and like especially girls and stuff. But then randomly he would just decide to switch it and just call Parker mute.
My favorite is still, it was that same night as that campfire. We pull up and there's a car full of girls right next to us. Parker, you have to reenact it. So I was driving and I like looked at him and like went like this, like unroll the window. And so they unrolled the window and Parker, so I was sitting in where Jared is.
I was excited because like, oh, what's he gonna do? What, like, I can like learn from this.
And then Parker was sitting directly behind me. And so then I unrolled his window, not mine.
And it took me more seconds. It was like, he must have made a mistake. Oh, he's still going. When's he gonna stop and roll down his window? And then instead of like doing anything rational, like, hey guys, I went to the mirror button on my side to keep it from going any lower, and then I was like, maybe they won't see me.
I think I child locked it before too, so he can roll back.
You had it all covered.
I panicked. I pretended I hid. I was like Drax.
I figured out my rant or whatever the question was.
The like opinion that you have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
It's a very serious conversation.
Gotcha.
I think therapy is overrated and a load of crap for the most part.
Elaborate.
If your therapist isn't teaching you tools to like handle stress in life and just is there to listen to your problems and that's about it, or just kind of like give you advice, then they're not a good therapist in my opinion.
That makes sense.
Therapy is to build your capacity to handle hardship in life and not avoid your problems. I feel like a lot of therapy right now is just to, like, if there's something bad in your life or hard, you just cut it out instead of teaching you how to overcome hardship.
So it's not so much that like therapy is crap, but like current trends in therapy are just like not doing what they should be.
Yeah.
I can see that. Me and Emily were actually talking about this of just like people who, like, in order to take care of themselves, it's like they have to like confront all their problems and all their people, but they do it in a way where they're just like unloading all their beef with someone to them, and it just causes like this weird, but it's like they're speaking their truth. And it becomes like this like I see like the value in that, to an extent. Like, it's like you should, like, if there's like some unspoken things that you haven't, like, maybe it'd be helpful to have a conversation. But if you're just gonna like,
My problem with that is, to me, it's like, if you have a friendship is two ways. You can't just say like, oh, if you keep doing these things, like, I won't be your friend anymore.
right,
Like, to me, like, then you like take all accountability away from yourself in the friendship. Because instead of like, I don't know, it's like, oh, like, I'm cutting out all the bad people in my life. It's like, well, are you a good friend to all of them, or like, are you like, I don't know. It's like a weird, like, it almost becomes like a like self-righteous thing a little bit.
I can see that.
I think my biggest thing with therapy that I've been noticing just from people I've been talking to is that there's like no accountability for the therapists themselves. Like, I hear people and they tell me the most random things about they learn in therapy, and I'm not a therapist, but I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, there's no way, like, what you just said. Like, if your therapist told you that, then whatever, but like, I just don't think that's like a true thing. Like,
Right.
I know a kid, and he said that his therapist told him that his brain releases too much. I can't remember what hormone he said.
Like dopamine?
No, it wasn't dopamine. I think it was like cortisol or something that made him like really stressed all the time, and so that's why he like overthinks things and just sits there. And I'm like, bro, like, first of all, how do you know that? Like, you can't like, how can you just tell from talking to somebody if their brain is releasing too much hormone? Like, how do you know that? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, does that make sense?
No, I see what you're saying.
Like, it's like not like it would cut on your arm that I can just be like, oh yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
And then two, then that takes all accountability away from him from changing anything, because then he just sits there and doesn't do anything all day, and he's like, well, like, my therapist told me that my brain's messed up.
Gotcha.
I'm like,
so you're saying like if therapy could be valuable if it was focused on like actionable items that people can do to improve their situation?
Yeah,
that makes sense. I think that's fair.
Well, because for me, I went to therapy. Like, I'm not against therapy. I've been to therapy a bunch. But my therapist, we worked through, like, I went in and I told him what I wanted to work through, and then we worked through it, and like, I overcame the things, and then he helped me like pattern recognize my brain of like, when I'm thinking these or I start going down this, then I need to stop, and then I need to address my thoughts. And then like, I learned that my big thing was I always try to control everything in my life because I didn't want to get hurt from somebody else. So I never like gave up control ever. I was always trying to control everything and just being in charge of every situation so that I could like avoid getting hurt. And then, so then I had to learn to let go of that. But then for me, like, I was really depressed and like all this stuff. And if he would have just pushed me to like take medication or like just listen to me, oh yeah, like, I'm sorry that you're going through that, I totally would have not had the realization of like all the underlying issues that I had in myself. So go to therapy, my biggest thing is go to therapy, but find a good therapist that will actually like help you work through your problems.
I like that. That's a good one.
That makes it, because like I had similar thing where I had like this character flaw that I wanted to fix in me, and one of the first therapists I went to for help was like, you're not a bad person, this isn't a problem. It's like, I mean, that's great, but that's not really, I didn't like, that's not why I came here. I want to fix this. I don't want to denial that it's so. But then the second therapist I went to, like, we were actually like doing actionable items and trying to change it and stuff. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think some people say like therapy as like an overarching like band-aid on things. It's like, well, not all therapists are created equal. I think that's what you're saying. And so it's, I like that advice. Go to therapy. We're not saying go to therapy. Mental health is a real problem that, it's a real issue, and so, but not all therapists are created equal.
Yes.
Find the right one. That's a good one.
Can I go on a random tangent?
As long as it's a side tangent.
So it's the best kind of tangent.
Excuse me. Did you guys? Well, I told Jared about it, but Moses, did you hear about the babysitter that checked under the bed for a monster
and found that man?
And found the man?
Yeah. Oh, Lily was literally telling me about it yesterday.
So I guess for those who don't know, a babysitter was babysitting two little boys, and one of the boys was like, hey, can you check under my bed? I think there's a monster. And she looked, and there was like a 31-year-old man, just like. So the question is, you've been asked to babysit. You're known as a good, dependable person in your neighborhood, so you're babysitting these two little boys, and they ask you to check under the bed for a monster and you see a random man, what do you think your honest first reaction would be?
I'd probably cuss. I'd get scared for sure.
I don't know. I feel like I'd either react and grab him and pull him out, or I'd look, act like I didn't see him, and then act like everything was fine. Pick up the boy, take him out of the room, shut the door, and then call the police.
I think that's because now that I think about it, I feel like I would do something like, maybe he doesn't know that I saw him.
You're like staring at him like,
or like you do like the movie thing where you like put the cover down and you're like, oh, nothing to see here, and then just try to play it off casually. Because I think because you see those YouTube videos of like people dressing up like scary nuns and trying to like find people in a random parking lot. Like there's the few people who are like cool and just like stare them down or aren't even that scared, but I feel like my reaction would actually be to freak out.
No, I want to think. I would like to think that I would spring into action quick enough in like that situation to do something, or like think calmly enough in the moment to like take the kids and like leave. But I just have a feeling, knowing me, that I would freak out at first and probably try fighting the dude, or probably start kicking at him or something, or yelling. But I do think the smarter decision would be like what you said, is like get the kids out and then showtime.
I don't know.
That's
I think I would freeze, and then it would just depend on probably like how much I could see him. If I could see him fully, my biggest thing with people is like I never know if they have a weapon. That's what scares me.
That's
Like if I could see that he like wasn't holding anything in his hands, then I'd probably grab him and start punching him in the face. But
you just jump on the bed till it breaks.
The kid's still in the bed and you just like run under it. It's just like the bed's bouncing.
I found the monster.
I'm gonna kill him.
I don't know. I have no idea.
There was a teacher at my high school who his daughter also went to the high school. So one time, for some reason, I guess him being a teacher, he knew that she was staying late for homework or something. So she was walking away from the school with her friend, and he put on like a black mask and snuck up and just like grabbed her mouth and dragged her away. And she didn't do anything for a whole block. She was like completely limp.
That's crazy.
I'd probably do that too. Also, that's kind of messed up to do. But
you know what's funny? You just brought up high school. This is a good segue into something that I had prepared. I found a TikTok post of this girl like asked people just like, what's the incident that happened at your high school? So I just wanted to read some of them to you and see what you guys thought. The first one is, let me go back to the right one. In 2011, the principal would hypnotize students, and mainly student athletes, to make them perform better. It led to the death of some students. There's a documentary called Look Into My Eyes.
What?
Hypnotism's crazy.
Have you ever seen a real hypnotism?
Yeah, I went to a show one time. I wasn't chosen to be one of the people, but I don't understand how it works.
It happened for one of my psychology classes where we invited our parents over, and a guy put another kid's dad to sleep.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's scary. But yeah, this principal apparently.
I do know like the Michigan quarterback, he would do something like that. Tom Brady, I think, did too.
They would do hypnotism?
It wasn't like hypnotism, but it was a form of like I'd have to look it up, but it was like relaxation. They would like. Oh,
I know. Like the Michigan quarterback would like meditate before games. Yeah, is that what you mean? Stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Meditate. That was the word.
It's his severed self would just go and play.
When you guys said, I thought it was like when the two quarterbacks are facing each other and one pulls out like a pendant. It's like you're gonna drop the ball. I know how football works.
Yeah, that's so funny. That just shows you how much Parker knows about football.
Yeah, he can't even throw a football.
The quarterbacks never are eye to eye.
Oh, really?
They're never on the field at the same time.
Who are the guys that face each other?
The O linemen, the D linemen.
Okay, then the line guys are like,
corner.
You're gonna let
literally every other
him.
Position besides the quarterbacks.
Whatever.
What does it mean it led to death though? That's what I don't understand. Like what? Like I don't.
If I were to guess,
documentary.
Look Into My Eyes, I guess we can check it out. My guess would be like going crazy or something and just doing something to themselves, or doing something reckless. Maybe it's like the
only sport that I could see that happening in is football.
Yeah.
Like maybe they got a concussion and they just kept playing until they died. I don't know.
You don't have your brain is not jostling.
Lead with your head.
Target.
I don't understand.
Lunge. This next one. A kid from a different high school tried to beat up a blind kid at a football game, and the blind kid fought back and won. I had a friend in high school who did wrestling, and he wrestled a blind kid and lost. But
awesome.
This to help the situation a little bit for him is that he had a rule where he always had to have a hand on the kid, so the kid knew where he was at. He couldn't like take it off and just like go around him or anything. But he still lost.
That
we gave him a lot of crap for
I mean, that would be hard to because it's a completely different style of wrestling.
Yeah, but in this situation, like if you're just fighting,
yeah, that's crazy.
Why would you pick a fight with a blind kid?
Why would you stay within his reach? That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Like, why didn't you go behind?
But that'd be, I don't know. Like, maybe if someone's blind and he's just like swinging, and then you're just like kind of like standing back, and then like just randomly punch him. Like, you look like such a dude.
I think he was,
unless he's like Daredevil, and this kid just can like.
Oh, I guess they didn't consider that.
His Echo Vision.
Our entire cheer team got pregnant in 2008. We're still known as the Pregnant Panthers. We also no longer have a cheer team.
That's awesome. I wonder if it was all from the same guy.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, they should make a Pregnant Panther documentary.
Here's another one.
PP.
Pregnant Panthers. Can you imagine if they went to a cheer competition, they're all just pregnant?
Oh,
if I was the opposing team, I would like the cheerleaders would all have like put a pillow while they cheer just to make fun of them. That would be, or if the entire student section was pretending to be pregnant.
I would be kind of intimidated if I went to a cheer camp and I saw a bunch of girls doing backflips all pregnant. Just picturing like big old bellies and just backflips and
just hit the splits.
Can you imagine doing the when they're holding them and then coming down in the base, they're just like catch them by the tummy. Their tummies.
Someone supporting the belly.
my high school was like, we could see the next closest high school. We were within eyesight of each other, and they were way.
Which high school was it? Pleasant Grove?
Lone Peak.
Oh,
yeah. And they're way wealthier than us. And at like football games, their student section would cheer like, "Your dads work for our dads."
That's so stupid.
Wow, that's dumb. Our my high school.
No, sorry.
No, I mean it's dumb because it's dumb from there. And I'm like,
I know I wasn't part of that school.
Yeah, you're at the cool school.
Yeah. My dad worked for their dads.
Our rival high school, my high school was known as like the higher education one, and they were just, for lack of better words, they were known as the ghetto high school. They always beat us, and so when I was playing football, we were getting smoked by them. It was the second quarter by this point, and so we weren't even like we weren't even halfway done, and then our students started yelling SAT scores, and me and my team was like, oh, they already gave up on us. Like, when they started going after the SAT scores, that's when we know we were losing. Oh, man. Here's another one. 2 of the teachers were married, and the rumor was the husband was cheating on the wife, but it turned out that the rumor was started by the wife, and she was the one cheating. Also, I was homeschooled.
That is awesome.
Parker, I think you might like this next one. I was a Girl Scout in high school, so I'd sell cookies at lunch period. This was against school policy, so every day I had people sneaking around buying cookies like I was a drug dealer. I sold 2,000 boxes each year.
Holy crap.
First of all,
awesome.
Girl Scout's still in high school. Is that a thing?
I didn't know that.
I mean, Boy Scouts are still in high school. It's probably the same.
Oh, you know what? That's right.
It's probably only the most extreme Girl Scouts, though.
Yeah.
The most Girl Scouts.
The most girl of Scouts.
And this one just kind of made me laugh. Someone cemented a toilet into the roof. And it's still there, apparently. Oh, this is the craziest one, though, I saw. Is that, I didn't catch it, but this girl brought a bunch of cookies for her classmates. And the news the next day interviewed all the people that ate a cookie because she baked her grandma's ashes into the cookies.
Why?
I don't know. That's all the thing said. I didn't dig too deeply after that. All these stories could be fake, but I pretend that they're real.
I like to believe that they're real.
Did your guys' high schools have anything like this? There's one that my high school is really famous for. I'm not going to say it because I know a lot of the people involved. This second thing happened after I graduated, but for like Spirit Week, my high school decided to do that. The gate for our high school was the Mexican border, and that people had to hop over the gate to do it. And they had like people dressed as cops on the other side. So
that's crazy.
That's the second worst thing. If you can imagine what the first worst thing could have been, but So that was like the incident at my high school, which is funny because when I was a sophomore, Barack Obama came to our high school.
What the heck?
So it's just the duality of man, as we were talking
The
about.
duality of man.
Just a lot. Very weird high school that I went to.
I mean, there's crazy stories of kids that I knew at high school, but there wasn't anything at the high school that was that crazy.
Do you have anything?
No.
Let's see. A random thing is that our pole vault catcher pad got lit on fire, and it melted the track.
Like, did someone light it on fire?
Yeah, like it was arson.
Oh.
Like someone lit it on fire.
Oh, someone committed arson at your school.
Yes.
Yeah, that's lead with that, dude. I thought it just caught on fire.
No, well, I mean, pads don't run. There's no electrical stuff. Someone lit it on fire.
I don't know.
It was probably someone.
Could have been a lightning strike.
It was probably someone from the rich school.
Mm.
It's what I was told. I don't know if that's actually
Our
true.
rival high school like graffitied some of our walls.
That's good.
And so this one kid in my high school, he was an idiot, but it was the funniest prank ever. Is that he went to their football field. It was like, it wasn't in the middle. It was like off to the side, but still on the field. He just dug a hole. He dug like a 6-foot hole, and it was like probably like this big. And he just dug really and then they had to like go and fill it before the game. It was just like, that's the funniest. Like, he didn't spray paint it. He just dug a big hole.
Did you just leave the dirt on the side?
Yeah. Just dug this hole. And then I think he did like spray paint some of the walls, and then he got in trouble for it. But it was so funny. I'm like, that is just dig a hole. I've seen things where like schools would like plant a tree and the other team's like
baseball that's good.
Baseball court, baseball
that's
field.
Good.
I just don't know how, if you have enough time to like get that off it, but more power to you if you can.
What I always wanted to do was take all the weights, because we had 3 floors, and then put all of them on the 3rd floor, like in random classrooms.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Just find a 110-pound dumbbell like in your under your desk.
2 kids rode dirt bikes through our school, and so there was like tire treads going up and down the stairs for a while.
Dang.
We in middle school they would always do this thing. This is like so much lower tier than what you guys just said, by the way. This is just like a small prank that people would do, is that they would start talking in the class and be like, hey, at 2:00 we're all going to start coughing. I should have started with this so that way everything got better, but I just kind of took a big step down.
That was such a junior high thing to do. That
It
you
was.
thought was like tough.
Yeah, well, I would only do it because everyone else did it. I never was the instigator, so it's even worse because it wasn't even my idea.
In junior high, we'd always play Marco Polo in assemblies. That was fun.
Like, you yell Marco and Polo?
Yeah. They'd get so mad.
Marco.
And then random kids, like, we don't even know, because if you just say Marco and then everyone's yelling Polo, random kids would join.
I feel like another big thing that people would do is yell Red Robin. Yo,
what?
Moving on. You know the Red Robin commercial back in the day for the burger place? You'd like, Red Robin.
No, I know what you're talking about. I know.
Why did you laugh then? Why didn't you help me?
Well,
I didn't have cable or anything.
You didn't grow up with cable? Oh, neither did he.
I don't know what
Your
I
dad
just
works
said.
for my dad. Oh, well.
We flooded a bathroom once.
How'd you get, like, how?
You get toilet paper and wad it up, and then you just keep flushing the toilets. And I did do this, but
Yeah, like,
so like for that.
that reminds me of a funny story. One of my favorite stories when we did carpet cleaning when we first started college. It was Moses' first day. We were doing carpet cleaning. We're at the facility that we're cleaning at, and his first job, he gets the hose, and he's like, the guy that's like leading us is like, go plug it in. And so he walks into he's like, there's no faucet here. He goes, did you check under the sink? It's just like, oh, my bad. I forgot that's where the spigot is for this thing. Like, he's never done it before. Why would he know where it's at? He got so mad at you.
I don't even remember that.
Was
that blonde kid?
Yeah.
Dude, did I tell you when I was doing security for Young and Dumb that he was randomly at one of the parties?
Why did he go?
I don't know.
That had to be like,
he was in the VIP section too, and we kicked him
he
out
got
because
in.
he didn't have
Okay.
a VIP ticket.
He's like, did you check under the sink?
And he was like doing the same stuff, like, because I knew Kwaku really well, so I like knew all the people in Young and Dumb.
Right.
He's like, yeah, bro, like I'm part of Young and Dumb. I was like,
oh, we might be talking about someone else then.
no, that blonde kid. he was I think it was the same kid.
Okay.
That's
Super
bold of him.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool.
Okay. I guess. Wow. Okay. My other story of mine. There's actually a few stories, but I just don't want to share it here. But the story that is that we had a friend. We had like some people over, and you offered him some Mountain Dew, and he goes, "Oh no, thanks. I'm not drinking." And you're like, you looked at Parker. You go, sober. I literally remember that on the way over here. I was just like dying laughing, trying to listen to my music, and I was just like, just sober. It's just like, I don't know. Utah, what can you do?
That reminds me. Do you remember when we went on that double date, Parker? And the girl was like, "Do you have water?" And I was like, "Yeah." Let me grab you a water bottle. She's like, "Oh, is it room temperature?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't drink room temperature water," so I said, "Okay." So then I went to grab her a cup, and just because we just drank out of the sink, and then she goes, "I don't drink tap water," and then I literally looked at her and said, "Well, you don't get any water then."
You could have put the bottled water into the cup.
What?
You could have put the bottled water into
It
the
would
cup.
still have been room temperature.
And she's not.
Oh,
were you
I thought you were
listening?
gonna put ice. I thought you put ice in the cup. It's my bad.
We
My
didn't.
bad.
No,
Ice.
we didn't have ice.
Oh, it was when we were all roommates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't have ice.
It was Ashlyn and then her friend.
Okay. Oh, okay. I remember. Okay, I
Yeah,
remember.
and we
Now.
went and saw the gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the best thing that came out of that date. But literally after that, I was like, that was the first part of the date. I was like, yeah, this is over. I was like, I'm done with this.
Remember, we were on a group date, and that one girl said that we all watched anime, and then she was like, "I think anime is the gateway to porn." And we were just like, I don't even know. I didn't even know what to say. I was like, I don't know what to. How am I supposed to say no?
No, we started making fun of it.
Yeah. Well, because I remember she was like, my brother started watching anime, and I'm really worried about it. And I'm like, I promise you, he might already be watching porn. If it wasn't, it's not anime's fault. I'll tell you that. It's because he's a kid. He's a middle schooler. That's.
That was crazy.
That was a wild one. Or there was the.
So long you've been watching porn since you started anime.
Sport group.
Oh, I didn't realize it, but now that you say that,
that's where it all started.
yeah.
There was also that big group date that we went on, and then Parker tried to get his date's number, and she just straight up said no.
Oh yeah.
What?
Like, you remember, we were all. It was at your house.
No,
It was like because then it was the same one where
We
my
went to
date
we
didn't
went-
want to talk to me.
We went to Top Golf, and I was so bad at golf, I hit someone in the ledge above us with a golf ball.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because we did the scavenger hunt on the ball
Yeah.
first, and then we did.
And my swing was so bad I defied gravity and hit someone.
I'm trying to think of how that.
There's
possibly
so
could-
many crazy stories from that night.
Yeah.
Random. They still talk about my date calling her chicken girl because she thought the snowman costume was a chicken. She goes, "Is that a chicken?" And then the fact that one of the guys that was on the date with the girl is now happily married to a guy. Not that it matters, but it's just funny.
Oh, I forgot Ryan. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot they were on the date. Yeah.
I don't
Lot of
remember what
lore.
girl he was with.
I think he was just a friend of his.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, then, like, another guy from that date is now married to the girl that was your date.
Yeah. No,
Same.
he wasn't on that date.
Yeah, they were. They came with the scavenger hunt. Actually, and then another guy on that date was also married to the girl that I was on a date with.
Oh, wow.
So, if you guys want to get married, just go on group dates with us, I guess. Well, not anymore, but you missed your window of opportunity. we don't do scavenger hunts anymore.
Nope.
Back in the day. All right, well, that's a good place to wrap it up. Moses, thanks for joining us. Parker, any last words?
Not since the incident.
Okay.
What incident?
I don't know what he's thought.
Nonsense.
Probably where. Did you hear
Sober.
that he was a military recruiter called him, and then
I
he
saw
started
that.
so much.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Yeah, you're not one of the.
Oh, you're one of those.
You're not one of the
people.
few in the
I
crowd, so we're just gonna hang up here.
That's like when my elementary school teacher thought that I was in the special needs class, and she's like, "Oh, don't you remember being in those classes?" Anyways,
There was a kid like that in my high school and middle school that his mom just, like I really he wasn't special needs, he was just dumb. So his mom put him in those classes, but he was just an idiot. He didn't do and then he got mad. He came over and sat by us one day at lunch, and he just like yelled at my friend. He goes, "What?" He goes, "It's my birthday. You didn't say happy birthday to me." He goes, "I didn't know it was your birthday." Anyways, so maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know. Anyways,
On
any last
that
words?
note.
All right, check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Moses, thanks for joining us. Love you guys. See ya.